Is it dead?
No, that's a Shire.
No.
No, the Shire is a place
Yeah.
from the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's
That
why
is not a
they named it
shire.
after the horse. Because all the midgets grew off of the horse. And the wizard was like, oh look at all of these hairy midgets. This poor horse. In honor of him, his sacrifice to save all these hairy babies. Let's name this hill after him.
Why?
What, have you guys never seen Lord of the Rings? No, I don't think that part was in the movies. I think it was only in the books. Might have gotten censored for horse violence.
Oh man, I should probably
Remember the part where Bilbo and Gandalf were talking about the origins of the Shire, you know? And then Gandalf's telling Bilbo, like, you remember that time that you were a little hairy baby with huge feet that were bigger than your head, and there was this horse, and he was a Shire, and you popped out of his head? I don't know what kind of horse he was, but this is Lord of the Rings. Everything is weird. And Bilbo was like, Gandalf, I don't think that's right. What are you smoking in that pipe? And Gandalf said, magic. I'm a wizard. And then Gandalf called his friend Dumbledore, and they talked about stupid little black-haired dudes that wouldn't listen to them and use their magic for their own means. And then Dumbledore got confused and accidentally thought that Frodo was his and not Harry, and so then Gandalf and Dumbledore traded little black-haired magic dudes, and then Gandalf was like, Harry, cast the ring into the fire, and Harry was like, hold on a second, you're not Dumbledore, what ring? Then Gollum came out and tackled Harry Potter into Mount Doom, and then he died.
There's a lot of people, like 4 people actually.
I got one! My life's complete, help. Oh, I died. Well, at least my life was complete before I died. Anyway, so then, after Harry got tackled into the volcano by Gollum took the ring and was like, it's my ring now, you stupid old fart. And then Gandalf was like, Gollum was trying to leave with the ring while he still had his raw fish intact that he was going to eat for dinner. But then Gandalf blocked his way and was like, you shall not pass, you foul creature. And then Gollum was like, please. And then Gandalf was like, no. And he took the fried fish and he smacked it out of Gollum's hand and it flew into the volcano. And then Gandalf pulled out his magical sword Galadriel and stabbed, he chopped off Gollum's head, and then, but the ring fell onto his finger, so Gollum's corpse turned invisible, so Gandalf is looking for the ring to throw it into the volcano, but he can't find it, because it's invisible. So Gandalf just says screw it and then jumps into the volcano and commits suicide. But, and then meanwhile, Dumbledore's telling Frodo to use the magic spell of epilepsy against Voldemort and kill him. But Frodo has no idea what's going on, so he pulls out his little magic glowy hobbit sword, and he tries to stab Dumbledore. Like, what have you done with Gandalf? Who are you? And then Dumbledore freaking dies. And then Voldemort, he comes up to Dumbledore as he's dying, and he's like, what the heck's wrong with you? Who's this? Where'd Harry go? And then Dumbledore tells him the whole story. And then Voldemort's so confused that he just pulls out a gun and shoots himself. But in his dying breath, he casts some kind of magical spell of Harakiri or something, which also kills Gandalf. So now The only one left in our story is Frodo with his little magic sword covered in magic blood. So he goes to Mount Doom to find Gandalf, and he gets there right as Gandalf jumps into the volcano. And then Frodo he's scarred for life because his favorite dude in the world, his mentor, just committed suicide in front of him. So he takes his little magical sword and he says to himself, I'm going to find who made you do this, and I'm going to kill them. So then Frodo he puts two and two together and realizes that Gollum must be here somewhere. So he starts kicking around trying to find Gollum's corpse so he can desecrate it in the name of Gandalf. And then he finds it, but unfortunately for him, he trips on it. He trips over the corpse because it's invisible. He doesn't see it. Then he falls headfirst into the volcano and then dies. And then the volcano, Sauron comes up like, what the heck happened here? And he's like, what did you guys do to my volcano? I don't know who he's asking because everyone's freaking dead. But I guess he asked it to himself. He asked himself, what happened to my volcano? Who did this? And so he goes and he tracks down the only person on Earth whose magic is strong enough to see into the past and figure out what happened. So he goes to the big floating chair place and he talks to Thanos. And Thanos says, Sauron, what do you need? And then Thanos, so Sauron and Thanos talk. Sauron's like, so what happened? Can you please tell me? And Thanos is like, well, it's a good story, so let me tell you. I got blown up by a cap can trap. But don't worry, I'm fine. I had my shield up. Anyway, so Thanos claps his hands together and realizes, wait a minute, that's not the command to go back in time. That's the command to wipe out all life in the universe. So then half of everyone in existence turns into dust. And so Sauron's looking at Thanos like, what did you just do? And Thanos is like, well, I accidentally clapped my hands together. And then Sauron's like, wait a minute, I thought you snapped your finger to kill people. And then he's like,
take off from here?
And then he's like, oh, I've been shot. That's not what he said, but that's what just happened to me. Anyway,
okay, that's what she said.
Yeah. Then Sauron turns to dust. What happens next, Clever?
Alright, so now that all of this has happened, right? Now we get to the part where Ant-Man is stuck in this dimension, right? Okay, and he's
stuck in a dimension.
He's stuck in a dimension because of Thanos' little snappy thing when he thought he...
Yeah, he clapped his hands together,
Then that happened, right? Okay,
yes, that happened.
So now, let's take off from here. Now, Ant-Man starts screaming for help, even though he's kind of being dumb because he's in a different dimension in it.
Yeah, he's retarded.
Yeah,
What an
everybody's dead,
idiot.
alright? And I'm not sure who this man thinks he is, but he decides to go float around, and then he finds one of those giant bear things, alright? And then those things start trying to eat him, and then what happens from here is he almost gets half swallowed, but he's too big for those things. So what happens is he's kind of just floating around with this big old bear thing now.
Yeah.
And now he makes friends with the big old bear thing, so the bear thing is still
What
holding
was
on
the
to
bear's
him,
name?
I don't know what his name is.
Was it Yogi?
But anywho,
Was it or was it not Yogi? This is important, okay? This is an unimportant detail.
It was not Yogi.
Was it Smokey?
Yes, it was Smokey.
It was Smokey the Bear.
It was Smokey
Alright,
the
I
Bear.
feel like we need to have a Smokey the Bear prequel to explain how he got into the quantum dimension. Can we just have that real quick, Clever?
Yeah, alright, Smokey.
So how did Smokey get there?
Smokey the Bear was minding his own business, going into different picnics and eating different foods, right?
That's what Yogi does.
Yeah, Yogi.
Is
after
it Yogi?
Yogi.
Oh, he's going after Yogi. So Smokey's
Yogi-
going after Yogi. Is he bringing his fire axe? What's the plan here? So
Okay,
you're telling me that Smokey the Bear is hunting down Yogi with an axe for eating all of the picnic baskets? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
You didn't let me finish though, because this is still going. Alright?
Okay, yeah. So then what happened?
So Smokey the Bear.
Then he
is
said only you
going
can
around-
prevent forest fires by dying. And then he stabbed him with the axe, right? Is that what happened? Who didn't get their
Of course
rook
it is.
armor?
Smokey
Oh, I want
the
armor.
Bear. Oh, dang it. Okay, Smokey the Bear wanted to get rid of Yogi the Bear, but who knows
Yes.
what? He probably slept with his wife or something. I mean, let's be honest.
You ate out of the wrong picnic basket this time, Yogi.
And then Yogi the Bear is running away, but then but Smokey gets smart and figures that, oh yeah, he's just gonna be at some different picnic tables. So Smokey starts going over to them, inspiring
This is
people
the
by
smart
saying,
thing to do.
you can prevent forest fires.
Ow, my eyes. Alright, only you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah, that's what's going on, right? And then
Yes.
someone's like, "No, you," and then Smokey just dies. But then the smart scientist brings him
Wait,
into
wait. What? How did Smokey die? I'm
Someone
just saying,
said
because
no,
I'm not
you.
following here.
Someone said, "No, you."
Who said? Was it Thanos? Who was it? Because Thanos is still a part of this story. He's still out there,
No,
okay?
this was Yogi in disguise.
It was Yogi? Wow. What a plot twist.
This was Yogi in disguise. So Yogi figures out Smokey's one weakness, no
Yes.
you. And then Smokey dies. And then some smart
Smokey
scientist
died.
comes in.
What was the scientist's name? Was it
Oh,
Albert or Stephen?
Steven.
Stephen Hawkins?
Yes.
Okay, so Stephen Hawkins has
So-
has Smokey the Bear. So then what happens?
And then Steven figures out, oh, I can bring Smokey into the quantum dimension
Wow.
and he'll be
He
okay.
was so smart.
Yeah, but then while Smokey was regaining all of his what are those called, cells?
Get
what's
off my
his face?
lawn. Right, what's his face? Who?
And then Steven rolls away from the plug, so he dies.
Oh no, Stephen died. Stephen Hawking. That's how Stephen Hawking died. So wait.
Disconnected
What's
from the Wi-Fi.
What is Smokey's status?
Smokey is in there,
He's
and
in the
he's
quantum
gaining,
realm.
Yeah, and he's gaining
Okay.
too much.
Wait.
What?
What is he gaining too much? No, I mean, is he
He's
gaining too much weight?
Power. Yes,
Oh my
power.
Power,
and weight.
okay. So that is when Yogi comes back with Thanos and they have their showdown with Ant-Man and Smokey. But
No,
this
you're
is
getting
important.
Too far ahead.
Okay, no, wait
I'm
a
not
second.
done
Does
yet.
Smokey have his axe?
Yes, always.
He has,
Smokey
what
never
kind of
leaves
axe
out
is
of
it?
his- What kind of axe is it? It's a fire axe. The one that he
Fire
set out
axe.
to kill
Does it?
Yogi.
Is it the one where one part is a stabby thing and the other half is a broad axe handle thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
What do you think? Smokey's a loser? Jeez.
Oh, that remains to be seen based on how he does against Thanos and Yogi. Alright, so Yogi and Smokey square off while Thanos and Ant-Man fight.
Not
So
yet, alright?
let's
So
let's
Yogi
start out with
figures out- Yogi-
Ant-Man and Thanos' fight, okay?
Yogi
So
figures
Thanos
out.
tries to take his giant gauntlet and, smash in Ant-Man's head because, he's an ant. But then Ant-Man goes really small and jumps inside of Thanos' left ear. And then Thanos, all he can hear is All he can hear is ASMR from Ant-Man, because Ant-Man is secretly doing what Mantis did in Infinity War, putting Thanos to sleep. And unfortunately for Thanos, he's preoccupied. So that's what Ant-Man and Thanos are doing. And also during this time, Yogi and Smokey fight. So while they're fighting, Smokey takes, his axe that he has, his giant fire axe.
Can I?
Yeah, okay. You do the Yogi Smokey fight, since that's your part of the story. What did they do?
So Yogi figures out that Smokey is still alive and in the quantum realm. So,
yes.
Yogi goes to Albert because him and Steven were arch nemesis, and then
Albert Einstein?
Yes, Albert Einstein. Who do you think?
Wow.
Alright, so Albert Einstein figures out that Steven helped Smokey, alright? And so Albert helps, oh my, I've been deaded to die.
And Albert
Oh, it's me versus them? How can I commit suicide easiest?
Your Twitch drone.
Yeah, you can shock yourself.
Or breach charge. Anyway, so Smokey takes his axe and he's going for the killing blow against Yogi. But then you'll never guess what happens, okay? Bobo, Yogi's little mini bear sidekick who helps him on his adventures, comes out, and he takes a little tiny prison shank that he made out of a broken picnic basket handle, and he stabs Smokey in his Achilles heel tendon. This stuns Smokey long enough for Yogi to take a picnic basket full of cyanide and throttle it onto Smokey's head, suffocating him before he dies. This is the end of Smokey. Smokey dies from being suffocated with cyanide and gasoline. But Yogi and Bobo, they're not done yet,
no,
okay?
Smokey was the one with Ant-Man in his
guess
mouth.
what? No, that was Thanos, okay? You need to keep your story straight here.
No.
Okay, this is serious. He's been shot. That's fine. He's not important.
Ow.
He was, but he's dead too. Anyway, so then... Oh, where were we? Oh yeah. So Yogi and Bobo have Smokey's corpse, and they've covered it in gasoline. So then they string it up, and they set it on fire as a warning to Ant-Man, because Ant-Man just went inside Thanos' head with a little prison shank and stabbed Thanos directly in the brain 47.5 times, killing Thanos. So now Ant-Man has the Infinity Gauntlet. Okay? Are you following?
I'm following.
Good. So Ant-Man, he has the Infinity Gauntlet, and he has to fight Yogi and Bobo. Alright? So Thanos snaps his fingers, and then Yogi disappears into dust because he could only kill one of them. He had a 50-50 chance. So now it's Bobo, the little baby cub bear with the purple tie, versus Ant-Man with the Infinity Gauntlet. And so Ant-Man walks up to this poor little baby bear who was like 9 years old, and he takes the Infinity Gauntlet, and he charges it up with all 6 Infinity Stones, and he slaps Bobo in the face. He slaps him so hard that his head flies off into another dimension. Ant-Man is now the victor, okay? Ant-Man wins, but he can't leave that evidence of Bobo's murder in the other dimension. So guess what? Ant-Man goes to the other dimension where his head is, and guess what dimension it was? Bobo's head flies in right into the Millennium Falcon, right into Chewbacca's arms. And so then Ant-Man comes out with the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's staring at Chewbacca. Chewbacca's staring at this poor little baby bear head, and Chewbacca's like, wait a minute, I'm part bear. My great-great-great-grandfather was a bear once. And so he throws the head down. He's like, did you do this? And then Ant-Man is like, I'm sorry, I don't speak Wookiee. And so then Chewbacca gets angry and yells at him and then tears off his left arm.
That took longer than I
Unfortunately
thought it
for
would.
him,
I'm dying.
Ant-Man then he's right-handed, so he's still got the Infinity Gauntlet, but he's losing a lot of blood. Ant-Man has approximately 2 seconds to decide what his final action in life is going to be. And so what he does is he takes the gauntlet and he throws it into Chewbacca's face as one last screw you to Chewbacca. That, unfortunately for him, Chewbacca then catches the Infinity Gauntlet and he drops it on the ground. It falls through the Millennium Falcon, out the exhaust port, and it's now floating around in space, okay? So the Infinity Gauntlet is floating around in Star Wars. And it somehow winds up on Dagobah, the planet that Yoda is hiding out on. Yoda sees it and he's like, an object of infinite power I sense. And so he takes his weird little baby fingers. I'm getting interrogated by Cabrera. He takes his 3 little weird baby fingers.
If it just comes back to this.
Anyway. He takes them and he tries to pick them up the gauntlet, but they can't reach because he's too tiny. So Yoda just takes his entire body and he crawls up into the left finger of the Infinity Gauntlet, but he gets stuck. So now Yoda's trapped inside the Infinity Gauntlet handle. He's shoved up in there because he was trying to get into it. So Darth Vader comes down to finally hunt down and kill Yoda, but he can't find Yoda. All he sees is this weird gauntlet with some wriggly green goo all over it. And so he takes the gauntlet and he takes it home to the Death Star, and he holds it out to the Emperor Palpatine, and he says, I couldn't find Yoda, but this magical object, I found it. And so he holds it upside down to see what the goo was, and out falls Yoda's suffocated corpse, bleeding and broken everywhere, and he lays it out right at the feet of the Emperor. And the Emperor's like, Jesus, what happened? And then Darth Vader's like, oh my god, I don't know. And so the Emperor, he uses the Force and he puts the Infinity Gauntlet on his little old man wrinkle hand. And he's like, I wonder what would happen if I shot lightning out of my hand while I was holding this. And so then he tries it, and all of his fingers shoot out rainbow-colored lightning right onto Darth Vader. And then the Force is so extreme from the lightning that Darth Vader's skin melts off and he dies instantaneously. He turns into a pile of dust at the Emperor's feet. And the Emperor's like, oh my god, what the heck is this thing? And so then Ant-Man comes out because in his final moments, he was saved by the Justice League. The Flash used his super speed to get him to a hospital in time to save him, because the Justice League, Batman, has secretly been tracking all of this as it happens, and now he's choosing this time to intervene. So Ant-Man, one arm left, and the Justice League in behind him come up and they start to fight the Emperor, who has the Infinity Gauntlet, okay? But the Emperor, what he does is he snaps his fingers and then half the people in the room disappear, including him. The Emperor snaps and then he's like, haha, I got you. And then the Emperor freaking dies because he's an idiot and he snapped himself to death. Anyway, and then there's a big explosion. The Death Star explodes and the, 4 remaining people land on Tatooine, the desert planet Luke Skywalker's from. So they land on it, and yeah, so the people that are left, there is Batman, Superman, Grand Moff Tarkin, he somehow survived the blast, and Aquaman. And so then Aquaman, oh wait, I'm getting a text. Alright,
Were
then
we all in jail and
Aquaman-
he's just telling this story? Like his war stories? I
Yeah.
remember Iwo Jima.
And then Aquaman, he comes out and he says, wow, this really took a turn for the South. I can't believe that Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and the Flash and Ant-Man and the Emperor all just got eradicated from existence. And so then Aquaman takes a squat on the ground and takes a minute to think about how terrible his life is. And so while he's doing that, Superman or Batman are like, wow, should we help him? He looks like depressed. But then they don't, because
Is he
then
normally, dude?
Aquaman grows a head full of long black hair, and his eyes turn green. He's not blonde anymore. Now he's Jason Momoa because he turned emo, so he turned into Jason Momoa. Then Jason Momoa is like, I'm emo, so I gotta punch something to death. So he goes up to Grand Moff Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin is like 90 years old, and he's been creepily CGI'd since the actor passed away. So, but before he can punch Grand Moff Tarkin in the face, he's like, oh my god, dude, are you okay? You look terrifying. Are you a robot or something? And then Grand Moff Tarkin goes into the corner and cries. And so then Aquaman has to find someone else to punch, so he decides to punch Superman in the face because he's stupid. So then he punches Superman in the face, and then Superman grabs a hold of him and stares him straight in the eye, and they stare for like 15 minutes before Aquaman... Ow, I've been stabbed. Excuse me.
And that's it.
Before Aquaman dies because he just got wasted by Superman's eye lasers. Because the entire time that they were staring, Superman was actually using his eye lasers and murdering him. So now Aquaman is dead. So it's just Batman, Superman, and Grand Moff Tarkin. I have 15 health left. This is gonna go great. Anyway, so it's all of them. It's just them left. Oh, I've been shot. Anyway,
Are you being held hostage and being forced to tell this story?
No. This is my entire
Do you have any endgame
will.
leaks?
No, not. These are all endgame leaks. What do you think happens in endgame? Speaking of endgame,
Give us the endgame leaks, kid.
then the Avengers, the Quinjet comes out with all of the remaining Avengers on it, not including Ant-Man, because he got obliterated out of existence. And they land, and they're like, is this the quantum realm? Where's Thanos? And so Batman and Superman look at each other, and they're like, oh my god, you're my worst enemy. Every single time we come out with a movie the same time as you steal all of our money. So... Then they decide, them and Grand Moff Tarkin decide that they have to murder these people because they're an unstoppable juggernaut, taking all of their box office funds and ruining their careers. So Batman pulls out a frag grenade batarang, and Batman, he chucks it at the Avengers, but it's a batarang, so it's like a boomerang, so it comes back